Girl Meets Goodbye. The last episode of Girl Meets World on Disney Channel. So, was the farewell a good one? Well, as always, there's only one way to find out. What's going on, YouTube? So here we are, people. The last episode of Girl Meets World on Disney Channel. And I really want to emphasize on Disney Channel. But nonetheless, still a pretty emotional moment for us all. So did this episode live up to its hype? Well, let's get into this review and find out, shall we? So the episode starts off with Maya still freaking out about the big decision with London, and she's starting to have real doubts about their relationship going forward. And we find out that apparently Riley and Maya used to have a third best friend that they lost touch with because she moved across the street. Wow. I can tell you guys were really close. Belgium 1831. Here we go. And this time, Belgium 1831 is Riley and the Matthews. Well, that's really what it always was. And the correlation is spot on. And the shade that Farkle throws at Maya and Riley's ex-best friend was hilarious. Nobody cares about poor Carrie anymore. So nobody is ready for this to happen. But Corey goes on to explain how sometimes in life things happen a lot earlier than they're supposed to. And the only thing that you can do is do your best to handle the situation. So true. So it turns out that Carrie Apple's son, or whatever her name is, was in the class the whole time. I'm ashamed to say that I totally should have saw this coming, but I didn't. So I wasn't ready, which is why I was so dangerously close to spitting my water out all over the place. This was probably the last time you're ever gonna see or hear from Carrie again, so let me just say, it's been fun. Your 3 seconds of fame will never be forgotten. So Ava is working on her New England accents for her trip to London, because apparently she's under the impression that she's going too. And her parents actually said that she could go. Yeah, I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but I'm pretty sure that Ava's parents are trying to give her up for adoption on the low. So, question. Is it tougher to leave something you love or stay when you could be missing out on an opportunity? This is a great question that Corey gave to the class, and I think it was a great question that got great responses. Zay says it depends on what you're leaving behind. Very true, Zay. And Lucas says that he thinks it's very important to know what's waiting for you wherever you're going. Even boys make good points every now and again. God, I'm gonna miss calling you that, Lucas. It's been good times. So then they talk about how Lucas and Zay both left somewhere that they loved, that being Texas, to come to another place that they arguably or most definitely love even more. Another great point. They got me wondering if Riley and the Matthews should go to London. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. So I can't move to another scene without mentioning the Markle kiss. And I love how Farkle responds in the same way he always has, which is passing out on the classroom floor. Gotta love Farkle. So Corey left Topanga in charge to make this all-important decision, go figure. But he knows that she won't make that decision without the help of all of her loved ones and family. And here is the scene we have all been anxiously waiting for. The Boy Meets World cast is all here. And I love how Feeny was shown last and got the loudest cheer. Better show respect to a boss when you see one. And the Feeny and Eric reunion had me in tears. And I love how they had both Morgans in the episode. I mean, I loved it, but I kinda also didn't, because at this point they're not even trying to make sense. Like, at all. Completely all logic just thrown out the window, even by Disney standards. But it was still funny when Eric said hi to both Morgans. And finally, John and Shawn. reunite. Oh my god, the feels. The motherfucking feels. Where the hell is Angela? Because I need her to come in and hug Topanga right now. Hurry up while my eyes are already watery. And John says that he's always regretted how he never adopted Shawn, after Shawn officially tells Maya that he wants to adopt her. So Maya calls Shawn daddy for the first time, and then she says that she's going to London with Riley and Topanga. So hilarious, so cute, so amazing. So now it's Corey's parents' turn to give their advice. Speaking of real OGs, nothing against Corey and Topanga as parents, but Corey's parents have always felt more like real parents to me, like the kinds you see in real life and not on Disney Channel. I honestly think that they played such a huge and underrated role on Boy Meets World. Okay, so after the two Morgans give their speech about how it is being the youngest with Augie, with some humor thrown in there about there being two of them, now it's time for the OG double OG triple OG, Mr. Feeny. And he gives his best Feeny advice as usual, saying basically whatever you do, don't listen to Corey. Amazing advice. And also he thinks that they would flourish in London just like they flourished in New York. I'm starting to see a hard to miss trend here. Nobody is actually picking a damn side. Talk about annoying. So now it's Eric's turn to give his advice, which he gives after being extremely hilarious and borderline stupid. Okay, completely stupid. I mean, who does goofy better than Eric Matthews? He tells Topanga to follow her heart and then go find her favorite quiet space to debate her decision. So now it's time for Riley and Smackle to have their moments, where Smackle thanks Riley for the feelings that she has because of her, and Zay promises to take care of Lucas and make sure that he's okay. And Riley tells Zay that their circle of friends was never complete until he showed up. Damn! Everybody's having moments up in this. It's like an all-you-can-eat moment buffet. But I loved how Smackle showed her confidence, possibly more now than ever before, when she completely put Riley in her place and says that she's not even a threat to take Farkle from her, basically calling her stupid at worst and not on her level intelligence-wise at best. I don't know whether to say, you go girl, or watch your damn mouth, because she made fun of Riley, which is completely fine, but then she tried to downplay the beauty and the chance of Ryarko happening, which is not fine, but I'll give you a pass this time. And then a completely disgusting Josh Aya moment happens that I refuse to even acknowledge outside of this sentence. And I know I called a quote-unquote truce between the ships until Girl Meets World gets picked up by another network, but this is the last episode on Disney, so I refuse to bite my tongue and water down my true thoughts in this video. Josh Aya. So now it's time for Riley and Maya to hit the bay window for what could be possibly the final time. And when Maya broke down and said goodbye to Riley, you could tell that it was really starting to hit her that this could be it. Riley could actually be leaving her, and she couldn't hold back her tears anymore. So sad. So now it's time for Topanga to make her big decision. And she decided that this place that she's in right now, New York, around Maya and everyone else, this is her bay window. So she decided to stay and not go to London. Oh my god, I'm so surprised, I can't believe it. So the episode ends with a bunch of very emotional Boy Meets World flashbacks, and this is without a doubt where my biggest smiles came from watching this episode. Really takes me back to one of the greatest shows ever made, one that I will never forget. So Riley and Maya promises to be together forever no matter what, and the end. So overall, did the final Girl Meets World episode on Disney deliver? I feel like it came close, but didn't quite deliver for me. Now don't get me wrong, I don't think it was a bad episode, and it certainly had its moments, but I feel like they really tiptoed around this really being like a home run, but instead they swung and missed. Still a pretty decent episode with a lot of feels, but I think what's really making me probably not gonna rate this episode too high is that I don't know whether to judge this as the final episode of Girl Meets World or just another episode of Girl Meets World. Because if I judge it as the last one, I'm not even remotely satisfied. If I judge it as just, you know, like another episode, then I would probably, most definitely rate the episode a bit higher. But until further notice, I'm gonna judge it as the final episode, because I think that that's kind of what they were doing as a just-in-case method. So if this was the final episode of Girl Meets World, which I don't think it was, but if it was, I would have to rate this episode a 6.5. If I rate it as just another episode in the bunch, then I would probably give it a 7.5. It had its moments, most of them involving Boy Meets World characters, but I feel like it just missed being a really great episode, even though it had the potential to be. Probably a Disney thing, and hopefully that will be the last time that I ever utter those words. But let me know what you guys thought about the last Girl Meets World episode on Disney in the comment section below. And if you guys really enjoy my videos and want to help me make many more videos for you guys going forward, check out that Patreon link in the description box. But I'm done talking. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do. But as always, until next time. And there will be a next time.